Students in the Daytona State College Broadcast Television Production Associate of Science degree work as production crew members in the following program.
Hello, everybody. Welcome inside the Lemarant Center on campus here at Daytona State College. Today, it's the Falcons hosting the Blue Wave out of Florida State College of Jacksonville. And we welcome you courtside, everybody. So excited you're here. Drew Felios alongside the professor, Ted Sofianos. And Ted, it's late February. Another great doubleheader with Daytona State basketball.
Oh, yeah. Second time around, Drew. I think it's going to be terrific. Interesting, right? They match up on paper. They both have right now losing records, but they're rebuilding for the next year. And so this could be a barn burner, this one.
Yeah, it certainly is. These two teams really excited for this matchup. And these teams really building for next year as well. Not quite the 2023 season that each expected, but great talent on both sides. And we're going to see it here tonight. Avery Cannon will get the start, followed by Johann Bell, Danielle Caldwell, Jaden Ross, and Emily Lee for Florida State College of Jacksonville. The Blue Wave coming in here, very well coached. Also, Diana Couch begins her second season as the head women's coach at FSCJ. Comes there from Indian River State College, and she was the head coach there for 7 years. Daytona State counters with Mackey, Pangborn, Moffitt, Jada Young, and Nashani Bilbert. She is averaging 16 points per contest. Gilbert, number 24, has had herself quite a season.
Yeah, we're going to watch some great shooters here. You know what? But I happen to think, Drew, it's probably going to be a defensive game.
The head coach for Daytona State is Tron Griffin. He's done great work here in year number 2 at Daytona. Very inspiring young head coach, a future star in the coaching ranks for sure. And we're thrilled to have him here at Daytona State. This team always is ready to play, and they're excited to suit up today on television. Another broadcast here, college basketball coming at you.
Yeah, they pickpocketed Coach Griffin from Stetson just down the road from here, Drew.
Underway here at the Lemarant Center.
You know, you're not going to expect a real high-scoring game here. A lot of control, as you're seeing right before your eyes as we start.
Johanna Bell gets into the lane and just kind of sneaks one up and in for the first field goal of the contest.
Like the way how she disguised that.
Here's a three from Daytona State to counter, and this one's going to hit the tape and be out of bounds. Our officials in this contest, thrilled to have on the crew Scott Morrow, Shem Rivera, and Cynthia Lavertu. 3 tremendous officials in NCJ basketball.
Drew, how's that I-4 traffic doing? My goodness. I know you came all the way from St. Pete, man. That's a rough one every time I know when you come.
Not nearly as rough as the defense of Daytona State, but how about that shot? Johanna Bell able to stop and pop, get a friendly roll.
That was a fortuitous bounce.
So Daytona State, team that plays up-tempo basketball. They got tremendous outside shooting, like to work it around. Not a ton of size on this year's team for the Falcons. But what they lack in size, they make up for in grit. Mackey will swing it. Good extra pass. It comes off. And Pangborn trying to gather it underneath. And we've got a jump ball. And it should belong to the Falcons.
Yeah, you were looking at just a minute ago, Nishani Gilbert. I remember she was all over the inside paint last time we got to watch her. This is about a month ago, and she was absolutely just a very scrappy but smart, extremely smart player in her distribution when she took shots, etc.
Work it down inside. Here's a turnaround, and that one just comes off. Rylan Moffitt couldn't get it to fall, and it's out of bounds to the Blue Wave.
That's the most size you have out right now for Daytona State. Moffitt at 6 foot, and that one was blocked a little bit by, I believe, number 25, Emily Lee.
See Joanna Bell really looking for her shot here early. She's a sophomore out of Miami. Right there, Doral Academy represented. So women's team with, so far, 8 wins on the season. Men's team is absolutely lights out here in 2023. We're going to see them later on tonight.
Yeah, Joey Castaigne has done amazing with that group so far in his recruiting efforts.
Oh, how about that move? And Gilbert gets it to go. She'll go to the line.
Yeah, not afraid one bit of a shoulder or an elbow whatsoever. Gritty in the paint.
Comes off, and the Falcons going to get another possession here. Just underway, Daytona State just scored their first field goal, 4-2 here out of the gate. Now it's Moffitt kicking it out, Jada Young. And Young is going to be fouled. I think Joanna Bell got her on the arm.
Yeah, grabbed the forearm.
This women's team averages 57 points per contest, shooting just about 67% from the free throw line. Coming in, they've lost 3 in a row, so they definitely want to get back on the winning track. See the nice ball movement with 5 to shoot. Attack at baseline, and a nice drive. And Dana Mackey is going to have some free throws coming up here.
Yeah, the speedy Mackey showing how quick she can maneuver between that baseline and the defenders underneath the basket. Converts the first one.
Mackey out of Alexandria, Virginia. West Potomac High School represented. And we're outside at 4. 10-minute quarters here in women's college basketball. Rule that was changed from the 20-minute halves several years ago. I think it has worked out just absolutely perfect, hasn't it?
And Drew, please tell me your rationale for, thinking that the halves are not as good as the 4-10s. What's your thought?
Definitely surprised the men's game has not followed suit. Not sure why, but I think eventually that will happen. Here's a shot out of the corner, and this one drops. What a stroke. That was beautiful from Gilbert.
Gilbert making it rain from above. She puts a lot of arc on her shots. That's 1 of 3 so far. She's attempted 3, got 33% then.
Jaden Ross thinking about it. They go down low with it.
Lee with her height, easily finding an outlet.
Now it's Ross trying to create a little space, and that comes off into the hands of Rylan Moffitt. Falcons want to run. Here's Mackey, she'll pull it back out.
Smart to do so. They close down nicely there for the Blue Wave defense.
Extra pass, well done. It's Young. Comes off a little bit long. Just sense too. I mean, it's late in the season. We mentioned not going to have hefty postseasons on either side, but this game means a lot to both of these teams, Ted.
Oh, yeah, and you just think about rebuilding, especially if you're going down to the last couple of games of the season, Drew. I mean, you're trying to end with, without a bitter taste in your mouth, of course. Falcons, like we said, they match up well to FSCJ on paper. Similar seasons.
So Tasia Johnson comes into the game. She wears number 3 for Daytona State. Also, Haley Brennan, number 35, will now play the center position. She's got great length, tremendous defender down there, and here she is with the basketball.
Oh, yeah, as soon as you said it. Premonition from, there he is, from Drew Felios.
Falcons, extra pass again, Gilbert. And now Mackey will pull it out, set things up. Thrilled to have you with us on WDSC TV, the Falcons Athletic Network. Got a good mix this semester, Ted, of baseball, softball, and college basketball on the men's and women's side.
I tell you, how the the production studio has really upped that number of productions. There you see it.
That's Jaden Ross with the take. Nice left hand.
And just, you think about the whole crew. I mean, some of them, of course, they're standards here, right? But you have so many students that are benefiting from this program because they're interns basically here. Mm-hmm. And boy, they learn a lot on the job. Yeah, some long hours today, Drew. That's going to be for sure. But the learning curve when you're doing a practicum versus something that you read about or virtual, I mean, it's really it's hard to even wrap your head around that. Great program. And I know every so often we're going to see from our production crew, we get the replays. They're amazing at that. So, I mean, I can't say enough about them.
Yeah, definitely just a great production here at Daytona State. Well, Halifax Health is a proud supporter of Falcon Athletics and the official healthcare provider of the Falcon Athletic Program. Halifax Health and Daytona State Athletics, once again, working hand in hand.
Yes, great relationship, great articulation agreement, right? In order to get, let's say, your ASN here at Daytona State and then matriculate to the BSN. They've got it all. They got 13 Bachelor of Science programs here at Daytona State. Every once in a while, as we stop here for a little intermission. There's Coach Couch, by the way, a Daytona State alumni.
Yeah, Coach Couch thrilled to be back in her old stomping grounds. Really done some great things in the coaching ranks. Also, she coached Kansas Jayhawks Community College Conference 3 seasons as the head women's coach at Fort Scott Community College in Fort Scott.
I mean, that's basically Indiana-type basketball, right? That's Midwest.
Oh, yeah.
There we get a good shot, right, of Nashani Gilbert, who has just been really, a great bright spot. I mean, it's all 4. I mean, all 5 that have been on the court, but boy, did she stand out a lot because of her scrappiness, her smart play, and she's a great shooter.
Kick this out. Gilbert takes a step in, tries to bank it. Good job getting her own rebound. Can't put it back up and in, but right there is her teammate, and that is the hustle of Rylan Moffitt paying off.
Yep, there. She was stretching out, right? That 6 foot with the long arms. Good job.
Rylan Moffitt out of Bushnell, Florida. And Moffitt with the steal.
Yeah, mishandled by Lee. Running the floor.
3-pointer on the way from Gilbert. Off the front rim. And Moffitt again.
I just love her rainbows. I mean, she really throws it up there to the rafters.
Last time these two teams met, February 4th. Daytona State winning that game as well. So trying to make it a clean sweep over the Blue Wave. This one goes in and out. Right now there's a lid on the rim. And the Falcons can't see.
Yeah.
Seem to lift it off right now.
The little lid on the rim, yes. And you know what usually takes the lid off is the inside game, Drew. All right, you're going to have to stop settling for those outside shots and get on the inside of the paint.
Offensive foul. This is going to go against Daytona State, so we'll go the other way with it.
Second, Florida State, Jacksonville basketball.
1 point lead early on here in the first quarter for Daytona State.
Right, but check me if I'm wrong here. They've had a lot more shots than the Blue Wave. Ooh.
And the ball thrown out of bounds by Daytona State. See Coach Griffin not happy there. He's going to make a substitution.
Alyssa Green-Buford there, tossing it out and getting the sub out as well.
Joanna Bell, she'll take the shot. Very aggressive offensively here in the first quarter. It's tipped out, and now Tasia Johnson attacks.
Needs help. There you go. Give her the help. Mackey. Probably hear my microphone on the left side there. Coach Tron Griffin calling out the plays. Working the horn.
Nice crossover. Ball gets knocked away. Gilbert thought about another one. Instead, tries to make it an easier put in. And how about Moffitt's hands once more?
I tell you, Moffitt's been cleaned up on aisle 5 so far. A couple of those offensive rebounds, sticking it right back into the cylinder. Nicely done.
Yeah, Ted, I really like her game. Just following wherever the ball goes.
Yeah. There's two ways to look at it, Drew. Anticipation or intuition. I mean, it's a little bit of both, and she definitely has it.
Daytona State running. There's Coach Gilbert watching his team finish, and it's Mackey, the sophomore once again.
Yeah, she's a speeder. A speed demon for sure. She was way above the rest up in front there for the easy lay-in.
Daytona State destined to finish this quarter with a flurry here. They lead by 5. Ball's going to be tracked down in the backcourt. Avery Cannon. She threw it away. Look at the Falcons defensively right now. Johnson, end to end.
Great steal, and then with the speed to the bucket. You said it, Drew. They were going to finish in a flurry with 51 seconds left, and they're up by 7. Which, as anybody knows that are sitting out there on their couch, that in a low-scoring game, 7-point lead is actually a lot.
Really like what I'm seeing right now with Daytona State. They are sharing the basketball. They're getting it up tempo. They're getting hands in the passing lanes. Ted, they're making it very difficult on the opposition.
Yeah. And as you only have another game left, this is exactly how you want to be. This is what you want to remember, the persona of the team as you start to rebuild for the next year. Ooh.
Johnson hands it off. It'll be a long one from the corner. And now let's see if the Blue Wave hold here for the last shot.
Yep. Only 7 seconds left. Going to have to make a move here shortly.
Final 10 seconds of the first quarter. It comes off. Moffitt trying to track it down again, and that'll do it. The first quarter of play in the books, and Daytona State really finishes strong. 15-8 your score as we go to our first intermission. So Tron Griffin arrived at Daytona State in 2021 after serving a good term as the athletic director at Atlantic High School in nearby Port Orange. There's the resume, second season as head coach. And you see what he was able to accomplish last season at Daytona State. Falcons had a great run, but he's got that experience of a head coach and an athletic director, so he understands the big picture. That's huge whenever you're trying to build a program like he is here in Falcons country. So Drew Felios, Ted Sofianos. Falcons treating us to some nice basketball in the first quarter. And Coach Griffin, you just saw his eyes light up when he saw the TV cameras in the house and us here, Ted, next to the monitors. He is ready to go in this one.
I mean, even if the television cameras weren't here, it was just you and I'd like to think he would have smiled at us, Drew. I know.
Yeah, it certainly brings the enthusiasm to this Falcons program, and you can see it with the ladies as they're getting better and better here late in the season.
And you know what's great about the program, Drew, also with these two-year programs? They're scholar athletes. No coach ever loses sight of how important those academics truly are. And all coaches, from what I understand, I don't care if it's, the Blue Wave or here, the Falcons, they're always pushing academics first.
And that's going to be a push called on Emily Lee, number 33. That's her first. Lee is the center for this Blue Wave squad. Right down the middle, and now a nice pass comes out. Oh, that jumper should have gone down from Brennan.
She's hustling down, guarding the middle of the paint. She's got size in the middle there.
Nicely done from Haley Brennan. I really like her game.
Yes.
Leave it for Moffitt. Comes out of her hands, and that'll be a turnover for Daytona State. And right there, that play right there is what Coach Griffin wants to see less of heading into next season. Got to take care of the basketball.
Right. Yeah, Tasia Johnson thought she had her there in the corner outlet, but just overpassed that one. Just a tiny bit careless. Almost reminds me of the beginning of that first quarter. Both teams kind of feeling each other out.
In and out as the shot clock wound down.
That was a great attempt.
And now the Falcons look to attack a traveling call. Ted, do you want to be featured on WDSC TV 15?
Sure.
If that's the case, go ahead, post an Instagram photo, which we know you have tons of, showing your Falcon pride with the hashtag DSC Fan. For each episode of The Fan Show, we'll select photos to feature in our Fan Connect segment. Watch for your photo on the next episode of The Fan Show, Tuesday, February 28th. That's coming up. That's next week, 7:30 p.m., Ted. So make sure you hold to that.
You know what? I mean, you got to go to the DSC, one of the libraries, and pick up all that wonderful paraphernalia that they have. The buttons, the shirts, the T-shirts, the tank tops, the cups, coffee cups. Come and show your fan appreciation.
And the fandom off the charts here at Daytona State. It's been so cool at athletic events this year with the new student housing on campus, increased attendance at all athletic events. We've seen the soccer games, the volleyball games.
And as we all know out there, it is, I still think there's some a little bit of, I don't know if it's being Drew.
Tentativeness?
Tentativeness is the word I was looking for. Students still haven't embraced that face-to-face, coming to the brick and mortar like they used to. And I think that's partial, of the feeling like, COVID and having that little bit of nervousness, anxiety. But I see them slowly breaking out of it. Good defense there.
Yeah, great hands by Avery Cannon.
This relates back to what you said, Drew, about, let's say somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 students or thereabouts in the dormitories. And what that translates to is having almost like a ready-made audience at many of your games, whereas Falcon Athletics are supporting each other in kind of a symbiotic relationship.
Right now, Joanna Bell is lighting it up.
This is also a timeout for Daytona State, their first of the game.
Young lady for Florida State College at Jacksonville has 8 points.
Checking in for the Falcons, number 3, Keisha Johnson.
And Daytona State calling the timeout to try and figure out how to slow her down. Take a look at Diana Couch. Talked about her body of work. She was also an athletic director, and she was for the Blue Wave. Most recently served as the co-AD there as well. Tenure at Indian River State College, very successful. This means a ton to these young ladies, not just skills on the court, but off the court as well. Grooming leaders of tomorrow.
That's right. Grooming, shaping, molding the leaders of tomorrow. I tell them, sacrifice your present self for what you one day will become. It's good advice, I think.
So Daytona State with a 3-point lead, 7 minutes left to go in the first half.
There's a high screen down to Moffitt.
Oh, she is so good at that. And that's a great timeout. Coach Griffin obviously designing that play. They come out, Ted, they execute it to perfection.
Perfect. Perfect high screen. Then roll to the basket, and there's Moffitt for 2. Back to a 5-point lead now.
How about this runner? It comes off.
Wow.
Boy, right now, Bell has taken a lot on her plate. Gilbert. How about following your own shot?
I love it.
They teach that at the lowest of levels. Every time you shoot, follow your shot. You never know what you're going to get.
Don't back away. Don't back away. And again, she had that little bit of anticipation. Said, okay, threw that a little bit light.
That three-pointer comes off. Falcons running again. One step and put it in.
And here comes the run by Daytona State. Obviously, that was a big timeout that Coach Tron Griffin called, and now they're back on hitting on all cylinders.
I don't know, Ted, if it's just you being here in the house, but this Daytona State team's on fire right now. Another breakaway. Put it in once more.
Drew, it is a cherishable point for me, though. At times, I do get them in my classes, some of our scholar athletes here at Daytona State. And, getting to see them, of course, and their athletic prowess, but also, watching their academics.
Oh, how about the passing? Beautiful! Wow. You simply cannot run a better break than that. Pangborn scores 25-12. Falcons have doubled up the Blue Wave, and we're headed to a timeout.
No, how about the great back pass by Nishani Gilbert, who caught it off balance, was going out of bounds, and then found, the inside for the inside shot. Wow. Terrific awareness and good footwork. And now you've kind of blossomed it out to a 13-point lead.
A good crowd on hand inside the Lemarant Center. And if you're watching here locally on WDSC TV, enjoy this game. Come out here to the Lemarant Center for game number 2, the men's contest. The atmosphere is going to be electric.
Oh, it's going to be electric. I mean, they got a concession stand, folks. You don't have to have just popcorn and soda on the couch. You can come right here and feel that electricity, as Drew Filios just said.
So a barrage of points for Daytona State. That was a 10-0 run for the Falcons, and it's 25-12. Blue Wave able to answer with a 3. That's a big shot from Avery Cannon.
Yeah.
Coach Griffin going to call a timeout, not going to waste any time. So the teaching never stops for Coach Griffin.
And it was evident why he did, because the weak side defense kind of was too weak and didn't come out running, and that's what he's trying to coach them with right now. Yeah, he's saying, she was saying, but I was guarding inside, and he's saying, no, that was not your job. So he's going to, that's what his job is right now, right? Making sure that he is going to get all his ducks in a row and pushes them into a much better, trajectory for next year.
Rylan Moffitt, tremendous start to this game. Freshman out of Bushnell, Wekiva High School represented. She comes in averaging 10 on the season.
All right, just 2 more games left, right? Besides tonight, 1 more, actually. You're watching this one, and there's just 1 more with Santa Fe after this for Daytona State. And for...
Oh, great pass.
Inside look.
Pangborn with the finish.
And then FSCJ going to finish up their season against Eastern Florida State in just a few days from now.
12-point lead. Falcons enjoying that double-digit advantage.
Looking very dominant.
Avery Cannon tries to swoop it in. Left it short, but we got to travel here.
Yeah, she was just slipping a little bit when they both went for the ball. Good call by the ref. What a presence Brennan is, number 35 in the paint right now.
Yeah, just a great option you can bring off the bench if you're Daytona State. Here's Bell, and Bell continues to fire away. She is scorching the nets here tonight.
Yeah, right now the point leader for FSCJ.
Inside to Brennan. And stop and pop now from the elbow. That comes out.
Bell just showing a ton of energy right now. I've been watching her run up and down the court.
Jaden Ross turns around, can't scoop it up and in.
Good defense by Moffitt there and the rebound.
Another pull-up jumper. Scramble for the basketball. It's going to belong to the Blue Wave. Daytona State will make a substitute. Brianna Pangborn comes in, and Brennan goes to the bench. Florida State College of Jacksonville, they are coming off a loss 1 week ago to Santa Fe, 68-64. As Alexis Staten comes into the game as well for the Falcons. That one way off from Cannon.
Yeah.
Get it ahead to Gilbert, she'll finish.
Yeah. Gilbert's having a heck of a game.
You know, Ted, you watch Daytona State play, sometimes you scratch your head, you wonder, man, how does this team only have 8 victories? It just tells you how good the competition is around this league.
Right. Conference number 8, right, which is what they were in. You know, after COVID, right, we've got a bunch of teams back in. I think the conference is rounded out by 9 teams. And good to see that all back. You know, post-COVID. A number of, 2-year programs dialed back on some of their teams, for a number of reasons.
Oh, that's great defense. And it was Pangborn just staying with it, moving her feet, and forcing the mistake.
Oh.
Under 2 minutes left to go in this first half.
Oh. Number 12, Pangborn. Good mid-range jumper right there.
And we got a really fun halftime coming up. An award show we got for you. That's all coming up at the half. How about the scoop and the score by Joanna Bell?
Missed that offensive foul on Gilbert.
Florida State Jacksonville basketball.
Refs have been really good, though. Thus far, a lot of play is going on, but that would mean, I haven't seen too many fouls. A lot of good, fair, fair-minded play, just some scrappy defense, and that's why you see the low score right now. Although Daytona State is right now over their halfway mark for their season at only about 52 points a game. So right now they're at 31, so well above the half.
Falcons running again. Fast break has been devastating in this game. And another jumper goes down. Alexis Staten out of St. Petersburg.
Yes. Staten, right by where you are there, Drew. And last time we had her on television, just less than a month ago, she came off the bench and she's doing exactly what she was doing then. A formidable force for Daytona State Falcons.
Here's Bell, the step back. It's short. And that's going to do it for the first half of action. So Daytona State, impressive. After the first 20 minutes, 33-19, Coach Griffin's team pulling out all the right moves up to this point. You gotta love Daytona State women's college basketball. All right, so much to come here, including the second half. It is intermission time. Oh, we are having some fun tonight at the Lemarant Center. Stay tuned.
My name is Tron Griffin. I'm the head women's basketball coach here at Daytona State College. This has been a great year thus far. Of course, us here at the college, the city of Daytona being impacted by 2 hurricanes early in the year was a little bit rocky because we did start the year with 10 freshmen. So trying to get 10 freshmen acclimated to just, college play, college in general. Of course, we do have several out-of-state student athletes, so having them come in and be in an unfamiliar place during 2 hurricanes was a bit of a challenge. But aside from that, we've had a great year. Our girls work really hard, just as we always do. We try to remain family, try to remain getting better with each game and with each day. Of course, the challenge is we do have 9 freshmen. So we're just trying to teach them how to win, not just on the basketball court, but also in the classroom, in the community, also how to perform and just, how to overcome certain challenges of adversity that our student athletes take. But aside from that, things have been going great this year. We're in a really good place. We've played a really tough schedule. I think out of our 16 games at this point, at least 10 of them have been nationally ranked teams, so they're definitely getting the experience and getting the notoriety. As I stated many times before, Daytona State is a special place, and it's special because of its people. I'm really excited about our upcoming signing class, what we have thus far. I'm excited about the future of our program. We want to be a national championship contender. We want to be able to compete for a national championship. And the schedule that we've had this year, playing those top-ranked opponents, the type of kids that we recruit, the players that we have here currently, are the proper steps that we need to take to get us to that next platform that we're trying to get to here at Daytona State. Our players this year, we have been battling some injuries and things of that sort, but our players this year to watch, I have to start with our returning sophomore, Danae Mackey. Danae has been a huge leader on and off the court for our program. Danae brings that fire, brings that fight. Danae gets it. Obviously, she's been in the program for 2 years, has been a starter for 2 years. So Danae brings just a wealth of knowledge and what I want not just from the program, but also during games and practices and things of that sort. Danae actually just today has committed to Mississippi Valley State University on a Division I scholarship. So, right, that's the reason why these student athletes come to junior college and come to Daytona State specifically. Aside from Danae, our leading scorer, who is actually a transfer from another JUCO here in the state, Northwest Florida, Shawnee Gilbert. Shawnee is playing extremely well for us. Shawnee has been all in since day one. She transferred in and got here this summer, averaging about 16 points for us, but Shawnee is our do-it-all. Shawnee is that lead by example. She was voted team captain by her team. One fun fact about Shawnee is Shawnee actually was a part of the national championship team 2 years ago at Northwest Florida, where she played as a freshman. So she's getting highly recruited right now by several Division I's and Division II's. We have three really talented freshmen that I would say keep an eye on. All three are being highly recruited right now. All three are doing an exceptional job in the classroom and on the court for us. That's 6'3" post player Haley Brennan, who's from right here locally, played right across the street at Mainland High School. That's 5'8" guard Tasia Johnson from Kansas City, Missouri. Right now, Tasia's ranked the top 5 point guard in all of junior college, so she's doing a really good job for handling her role for us. And then our other freshman is Rylan Moffitt, a 5'10" forward from Bushnell, Florida. Rylan is probably one of the brightest IQ basketball minds that I've had the opportunity to coach in a while, but she's doing a phenomenal job in her freshman campaign for us. So, of course, you try not as a coach to look ahead, and I'm always excited about the current day. I'm excited about tomorrow. I'm excited about the next game. But I'm extremely excited about next year because, one thing about junior college is whenever you have an opportunity to retain kids and come back, that'll be now year 3 for me. So, I'm always interested for the challenge that, I can bring to the program and see how I can be different and continue to help grow and elevate not just our student athletes, but the brand of Daytona State, growing and elevating our program, other programs, and just, not only being a sponge, but also wringing out some of the things that we've learned along the way that we can be a benefit to other programs. But always excited to be here, be at Daytona State and everything that it offers.
Hello, and welcome to Daytona State College, where you can explore more than 100 1-, 2-, and 4-year programs that give you a clear pathway to a rewarding career with flexible opportunities for employment along the way. Visit any of our 5 campuses in Volusia and Flagler counties to see why so many have chosen Daytona State as the place to start. It's all right here. Quality programs, expert faculty, academic support and guidance when you need it, and a diversity of student life, including sports, arts and culture, and dozens of student clubs and activities guaranteed to get you into what we like to call the Daytona state of mind. It's easy to get started on your pathway to success. First, enroll in one of DSC's certificate programs. Some of them only take a few months and can lead to a job and maybe more certificates, like in business, IT, or one of the many skilled trade offerings. DSC offers top-notch public safety, workforce skills training, computer science, automotive, advanced manufacturing, and a host of other programs, as well as performing arts and music production, and don't forget about the amazing exhibitions in our internationally acclaimed Southeast Museum of Photography. Great nationally accredited programs, including nursing, cybersecurity, and engineering, along with surgical technology, live TV production, additive manufacturing, beverage science, optician technology, database technology, and lots of other choices with exceptional faculty who care about your success. Another option is to earn your university transfer degree, an Associate of Arts, or AA for short. This will guarantee you entry into a public Florida university and save you thousands of dollars. In fact, you can keep going and finish your bachelor's degree right here, close to home, and save thousands in tuition costs alone. Daytona State currently offers 11 bachelor's programs in business, education, information technology, engineering technology, and nursing, with more to come. One of our more popular programs is Daytona State's partnership with the University of Central Florida, called Direct Connect to UCF. It streamlines transfer as a junior right into a program of your choice at UCF. Plus, our articulation agreements with other four-year colleges provide you with lots of options. Many of our associate and bachelor's programs offer online classes. Pick what works best for you, online, in class, or a combination of both. Earning your degree at Daytona State costs less than half of what it would at a university. Throw some financial aid into the mix and you can easily fit college into your budget without being left with a ton of debt when you graduate. You can even apply to get a share of the nearly $1 million in scholarships the DSC Foundation awards every year. No matter where you live, there's a DSC campus nearby with advisors, tutors, writing center specialists, all the free academic support you need, wherever you are, no matter what degree you choose. Plus, Career Services provides job placement assistance, and each campus has a dedicated veteran center, meeting the needs of a surging population of military veterans. If exercise and sports are your thing, you'll want to check out DSC's Aquatics and Fitness Center, or cheer for our Falcon teams in basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball, golf, and soccer, where our men's and women's teams have the run of the new soccer stadium. Plus, our newest sport, cross country. Being serious about your future should also mean being serious about having fun along the way. With diverse student activities, including nearly 50 student clubs, intramural sports, and student government, here you can create unique opportunities for friendship, learning, and leadership. Our new 84,000 square foot L. Gale Lemarand Student Center is the epicenter of student life on our Daytona Beach campus. Here you will find the library, writing center, career services, a dining area, as well as gaming stations and other student-centered activities. By now, you've no doubt got the picture. Your path starts at DSC. Wherever you're headed, you'll find more at Daytona State.
We understand this year has been overwhelming for most of our community. The struggle to take care of yourself and your family. The uncertainty. At Halifax Health, our doors are always open, and we're here to make you feel safe again. We're here so you don't have to hide from your health. We're here to take care of you. Halifax Health. Live your life well.
Daytona State College is expanding nursing and healthcare programs with additional classes at the Flagler Palm Coast campus. With new state-of-the-art learning facilities, students will be able to finish all requirements for the nursing associate degree, which can be completed in 2 years, then transition easily into the online bachelor degree for increased earning potential. Call 386-506-3052 or visit us online at daytonastate.edu.
I'm Brooke. I'm a student at Daytona State College Dental Assisting Program. I feel as though the program has really prepared me for walking out of graduation and getting a job. Instructors have been right by my side the entire way through.
The dental assisting program was a great experience. The instructors were incredible, and they provided the support to help you graduate and to find a well-paying job. But it also gives you the foundation if you're looking to move into the dental hygiene program.
They really made sure that they armed you with all the knowledge, information, and even technical skills that you need in the workforce. I was offered a job opportunity from 2 of the 3 places that I externshipped at, so I felt like I was really prepared for the real world. I love being able to help improve a patient's quality of life and watching their confidence and self-esteem blossom as we transform their smiles.
Thinking about college? Through Direct Connect, you can transfer from Daytona State College to UCF to complete your bachelor's degree and save big on tuition. In fact, an AA at DSC guarantees you admission to any Florida public university. Find out more at daytonastate.edu.
Welcome back to the Lemarant Center, 33-19 here at Daytona State College. The Falcons leading the Blue Wave out of Florida State College of Jacksonville. And we're thrilled to have you with us tonight here on WDSC TV. Drew Felios, Ted Sofianos. Halftime highlights, pretty much everything going the way of the Falcons in the first half.
Oh, yeah, and if they converted a lot more of the percentage of their shots, I mean, this would be a real blowout right now. So they've had a lot more shots than FSCJ as well. And there was a good look at Coach Couch, right, who used to come here to Daytona State. I mentioned that before. If you're just joining us, was a Daytona State alumni. Got her degree in photography, from what I understand, from our Southeast Museum of Photography.
Yeah, great performance by Daytona State. Some of the high scores in that first half. Bell for FSCJ had 12 points. Daytona State led by Gilbert. She had 9 points. And we had a special ceremony at halftime that we're going to be talking about here over the next hour. Drew Felios, Ted Sofianos, the professor. And before we get back to basketball, just want to let you know, Ted, we are thrilled to have you with us tonight. Ted's mother passed away last Thursday night. Very easily could have just called in and we could have tried to fill your spot here tonight, but you being here with us, your family to us, we love you, and our hearts and prayers are with you and your family in this moment.
Thank you. That's a bit too much. I wasn't ready for that. Wonderful, though, and God bless her. And I was there with her with my wife when she passed, and thank you very much. This is a great distraction, though, everybody. I love being here with Drew Felios, Daytona State basketball with FSCJ. I mean, it's a great distraction for what has occurred in our lives.
Yeah, your mother, Judith, did a tremendous job with you as well. And somebody told me when my father passed away 4 years ago that your parent is going to be with you now more than they ever were before. And you know what? They were right, because I think about my dad every single day.
I was going around. I had to go to her house today for a little bit. I'm muttering to myself about her. I'm saying, hey, Mom, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's funny you say that. It's so very, very true. Thank you very much, Drew. Thank you.
Let's play some basketball. Daytona State 33-19, a 14-point lead. And the sophomores honored at halftime. Ted, that was an emotional ceremony we had at the half with some of the great players being honored, their parents here in attendance, and getting a little souvenir to take home honoring their Daytona State careers.
You know what? What came to mind as I was looking at all of them, I'm like, hey, you all out there, you're kind of a big deal. You truly are. Look at your accomplishments. And to their beautiful writing, by the way, about how they tailor their speeches. I was really, really taken back by it. It was a terrific job. Really nice to venerate our scholar athletes that way. And in a way, it was kind of nice because they get to write it themselves. Darn good speech writers, each and every one of them.
Yeah, they certainly are. So if you're just joining us, Falcons have one more win on the season up to this point than do the Blue Wave. But Daytona State, the defense combined with the way they have executed the fast break has been the difference in the first 20. That shot a bit short, and it'll belong to FSCJ here out of the inbound. And actually, they'll give it back here to the Falcons, so Daytona State will have one more possession.
Okay, so it was an overrule there. I love when the referees do that. You know, one of them had just a better eye to see it, a better angle. Let's see how FSCJ, the Blue Wave, react to that first half. Right now, pulling a shot from 10 feet outside the three-point line. Coach is going to say, hey, come on, gang. We got to work that around a little bit more around the horn. Come on now.
Trying to sort something out here. I think it is the shot clock right now. The big question. So our officials again, Scott Morrow, Shem Rivera, and Cynthia Laverteau, doing a good job calling this game thus far.
And certainly not, from what I have seen, not one real controversial call, which means they've done a good job, as you just said.
So far, Daytona State shooting the basketball 42% compared to 29% on the other side. That's a big statistic. And you saw the bump right there. One of the sophomores honored at the half, Brianna Pangborn, whistled for the foul.
Yeah, the field goal percentage you just mentioned, so they're at 33 all year now. With the 25 games that they've played. So here they are, 9 points above that percentage. That's terrific. That's great, really, on all the way around for any team at 42%.
Sneak one in. Oh, there's Pangborn hanging out underneath.
Wow. Yeah, it's right now ear-to-ear smiles for Daytona State, the way they're playing. And really, it's going to be this young lady, Johanna Bell, that's going to have to turn things around for the Blue Wave. She has been absolute dynamite to watch. And just as I mentioned her name, there was a great mid-range jumper, so whoosh.
She's got 14 points on the night. Good defense by the Blue Wave. And now here's Johanna Bell running. And we're going to have a foul here. That's J.D. Young committing it.
J.D. Young did everything right there. It just that Bell backed up just at the wrong time because Young was coming to pick her pocket. And she comes out.
So Danielle Caldwell will throw it in. Right now, Young cutting it up on the bench.
Yeah, I saw that too.
For Daytona State.
Had some good camera work there by our crew.
Daytona State in the white. Dark uniforms owned by Florida State College at Jacksonville. This one is off. Ball is loose, and it'll belong to the Falcons.
Good job there by Johnson not to touch the ball.
Another big stat after that first half, Ted, rebounding. Daytona State, get this, They had 31 rebounds compared to 12 on the other side, and Moffitt with that mid-range jumper is killing it right now.
They're just pouring it on. Pouring it on right now. And if you're Coach Couch, you know, even though it's not even 2.5 minutes gone in this third quarter, you might think about calling a timeout.
Knocked away again, great hand shown. Johnson dishes it off, another bucket. Moffitt is having a field day.
Wow. How'd you like Moffitt, the way there's the timeout that I was just mentioning, Drew.
Here at Daytona State, Drew Felios, Ted Sofianos, the professor, Florida State College at Jacksonville, and Daytona State College battling 39-21. The home side taking care of business. And when you talk Daytona State athletics, you talk about Halifax Health partnering with DSC to provide assistance for the education you need to start your healthcare career. Find out more at halifaxhealth.org/education to employment.
Yeah, an incredible program, incredible placement once they graduate, as you just were mentioning. And it's interesting how the ASN, you know, translated eventually for Daytona State to a BSN because they didn't have one just about 10 years ago. And so what happened was the hospital started, and that's what happens, right? The market starts to drive what is being taught at the various universities and colleges, which is probably the right thing, right? And so now what you have is a, you know, obviously better salary, a better quality of life, and you know they are now they've now matriculated to the BSN, so they can stay at Daytona State 2+2, so it's 4 years here. So it's pretty incredible to see how that program has blossomed, as I've been here since around 2005.
Sizing up this game, the forwards for Daytona State, Pangborn and Moffitt. Blue Wave, they've just had no answer for those two on either end of the floor. Here's Bell, another one going down. She can shoot it.
And it's really, you know, that's the highlight reel for the Wave, is Bell. Wow.
A good job by Gilbert to recover. Shot from three is good from Johnson.
Oh, Johnson basically just rewarded Nashani Gilbert for that wonderful acrobatic play.
Falcons keeping their distance. It's a 19-point advantage. McCarthy, nicely done with the left hand.
Yeah, I thought we'd call McCarthy's name a little bit more. And the other one I thought we'd call more was Lee, right? Emily Lee.
Bell with the rebound. That last bucket by Jaden Ross. Want to check that. Ross gets the bucket.
Yeah.
And now Ross will, Bell will set things up. And looks like we got a foul in the lane. Here comes Haley Brennan into the game.
Yep, been in standout. And enjoying her play so far tonight for the limited time that she's been in.
You have a jump ball.
Just as I was saying, you know, I haven't called 25's name out enough. There it is.
Yeah, there is a reason for that.
Yeah, Drew. Did you notice what just happened to me? Ah, yes. A rookie error.
That ball tipped away now. Put it on the deck. It's stolen away. This is Gilbert. No stopping her.
Oh.
Can't finish, though.
Just got the body a little bit too far under the cylinder there.
This one goes in and out. Jaden Ross able to rip it away.
Here comes Bell. Now around the horn.
Inside, outside. Gilbert spotting up, can't put it in.
Good job, Ross, right there, ripping it away from Moffitt.
Blue Wave starting to make a bit of a run here.
So it is Lee. Even though the jersey is not saying that, it is. Okay, so I don't feel so bad.
Danielle Caldwell with the steal. FSCJ, they get a bucket here. Could be timeout Daytona State, and it goes down a 3. So just like that, it's a 12-point game.
Wow, that certainly turned around quick.
It's going to be a big line change at the next dead ball. Coach Griffin wants to get in his fresh players. 3 in, a great answer that time from Johnson. Tasia Johnson, freshman out of Missouri. Lee Summit West represented. Look down the Falcons roster as a foul is going to be called on Johnson. Daytona State with players from Florida, Missouri, Virginia, New Jersey, Maryland, among other states. Take a look at cast of characters for Coach Griffin and the Falcons right now leading by 15 over the Blue Wave of FSCJ. So if you're Daytona State, you knew that at some point Florida State College of Jacksonville was going to make a run. You can't panic when that happens. You have to continue to execute your offensive sets, and that's exactly what happened for Daytona State on that last 3.
And that's a great comment that you just made as you see Coach Couch right there, you know, kind of showing on the board, you know, the strategy for the next play. And I do think that they will come back a little bit, but I just don't see with the high-powered offensive tools that Daytona State has how they're going to come back from this 15-point deficit.
So do you want to be featured on WDSC TV 15? Post an Instagram photo showing your Falcon pride with the hashtag DSCFan. For each episode of The Fan Show, we'll select photos to feature in our Fan Connect segment. Watch for your photo on the next episode of The Fan Show. That's Tuesday, February 28th, 7:30 p.m. And this is a show that students at Daytona State work awfully hard on. You're encouraged to use that hashtag, get involved, and get on The Fan Show for showing your Falcon spirit.
That's right, Falcon pride. Do it any way you can on Facebook or Instagram. In this case, mostly Instagram. I mean, the company's, Facebook and Instagram owned by the same person, right? I mean, okay. Never understood that, to be quite honest. Never got the hang of Instagram, I'll be honest with you.
Caldwell comes up on her knee, and we're going to call a foul. Oh, she's going to get bailed out there.
We have some armchair referees behind me yelling out to the referee, how about the jump ball before that? That's all right.
Danielle Caldwell now at the line. Have not seen many free throws tonight.
No, you're right, Drew. Not a heavy foul game.
Yeah, Daytona State has only shot 3 free throws in this game. They're 2 for 3 from the stripe.
Which is not indicative of most of the games that I've been watching or following.
Gilbert, 7 seconds on the shot clock.
And
here's Gilbert. Look at that smooth stroke. I mean, that is
wow.
just beautiful to watch, isn't
wow.
it?
A rainbow by Gilbert. Wow.
Got a pickup ball on the other side, and Gilbert's going to come over, commit the personal. That was the situation.
Oh, she is not shy to take the threes, that for sure, for Gilbert. But she makes a good percentage of them for sure, and that's why she's confident to take them. A rare miss there for Bell. And that not just from the stripe, but for the entire game.
Yes, 16 points. She's got more than half of the points for the Blue Wave. A couple misses there, though. Here it is again. Why not?
I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Drew. Just give me another ham sandwich and I'll take care of that for you.
Tasting pretty good right now. A little provolone cheese.
I haven't eaten since 5 a.m. Stop it. I'm not even exaggerating, Drew. Luckily, I brought a chalupa or something with me for our between games nourishment.
So Mackey goes in for Daytona State. Gilbert, see if we got a heat check here coming up. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So that's 8 points just like that in the past minute and a half.
Oh, she is really on fire right now, on fuego.
22-point advantage, 53-31. Tight man-to-man defense now for the Falcons. Here's Bell, guarded by Mackey. Ross along the baseline, puts it in. That's a good-looking move.
Nicely done. Nicely done to maneuver herself in that respect and kind of take the foul hard on the arm and finish it off. Good job.
Jaden Ross, freshman out of Orlando. And now the final minute of this third quarter. Nice dish. Tell you what, the jumpers are open all over the court for Daytona State, and they have taken advantage of it.
And that's basically through an inside-out type of philosophy where the defense is collapsing on the inside player way too much. And they're overcommitting, and therefore you end up with two on the wing of Daytona Staters that, wide open.
Tried to throw it right down the middle. Nobody was home. Wound up in the hands of Bell. Joanna Bell runs into a wall.
Yeah, she did create the contact, and that's why it wasn't called. Now Daytona State probably going to work for the last few seconds, not to leave anything on the clock.
That'll be tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Falcons. 6.4 seconds left to play in this quarter.
Because, Drew, of the lack of fouls being called, this has really had pace to it this particular game. I've been in one, have so many fouls and so many timeouts. Jiminy Cricks, one of the few she's missed.
So that does it. 3 quarters in the books, 53-33. Daytona State a commanding lead here at the Lemarant Center. Falcons and Blue Wave, and Daytona State dominating in true Falcon fashion. Special thanks to our camera and production crew. These folks are the ones that really, truly make it happen. Behind the scenes, they bring you the action, the sights and sounds, and Ted, they even make us look good every now and then.
Look good. I mean, honestly, these are our professionals here, And of course, then we have some of the student workers as well. But my goodness, guys, great job, ladies and gents. You guys are wonderful with our red hat that's right by me as well. Just terrific job with the camera work, with the angles. And of course, we love that slow-mo replay where we got to watch some of the real action in slow-mo. Because real time, sometimes it happens way too fast to follow, Drew.
And of course, all of the crew back in the studio right now.
Oh, yeah.
Making all of it happen. Audio, graphics, director. It's a team effort bringing this broadcast into your living room year in and year out. We have so much fun with it. It is truly a gift.
State of the art, really. Truly state of the art. You know, how many two-year programs do you know have their own television studio as well as being able to broadcast, you know, to over 100,000 viewers?
It's pretty
Much
awesome.
more than that, actually. If anybody upstairs wants to give me that number, I'd appreciate it. How many actually do receive this broadcast?
Lots of sports coming up, too. We'll get into that later. We got softball later on this semester and a couple baseball dates we're going to tell you about coming up a little bit later. Fourth quarter of this women's game here on WDSC TV. Here's another three. Falcons have absolutely scorched the nets tonight. Oh, that's a deep one and fading away in the corner. How did she get that one to go?
That was beautiful. Avery Cannon now with 9 points. Johanna Bell with 16 right now in the lead for FSCJ. And there's a steal.
Now it's Joanna Bell. Avery Cannon trying to make it happen again across the baseline. And Falcons running. Johnson gets it ahead. Up and in.
That looked too easy. Too easy.
So Shania McCarthy, the freshman guard out of Apopka, in the books now for Daytona State.
And it's really important when you're in a two-year program as you start to see the more and more freshmen come in, because it usually is indicative of any coach and program where it's not usually the freshmen that are going to be the starting five. It's going to be your, sophomores for the most part. So this is a good time for Coach Tron Griffin to give some of those freshmen that don't get enough playing time that type of practice.
See Rylan Moffitt right there. She'll be back next season, number 15 in white on the left side of your screen. Tasia Johnson will be back, the freshman right next to her. So a lot of talent in the cupboard coming back for Coach Griffin. And you know how it is in collegiate athletics these days. Just takes a couple pieces here and there to really have the complete team that you want contending for a championship.
Working interdependently, right? Not independently, interdependently. And that's what's going on right now and why you're seeing, right, almost, it's a 19-point lead, 55-36.
Our next game is coming up at 7:30. That is the scheduled time. So should start, if not right on the dot, just around that time. You want to join us then. Ted and I will be on the call as FSCJ takes on the Falcons right here, coming up next on WDSC
That's
TV.
right. Same energy level, Drew. Hold nothing back, sir.
Can't wait. Let's see a little Falcon pressure here. I think Coach Griffin wants to make sure that there are no more rallies or any more threats coming from that FSCJ side.
Yeah, although FSCJ, because of Bell, they easily broke out of that full court press.
Thought about it. Ross dishes it off. Emily Lee now on the block. Oh, she threw it away, but it was tipped off a Falcon. It'll stay with the team in black. 7 seconds on the shot clock.
Coach calling out to his Falcons, do not foul.
Call that a block.
One of the hardest calls to make as a referee. Is it a charge or is it a block? It's a chicken and egg. You know, we can argue about that till the cows come home.
Ted, want to revisit the rebounding for both of these teams. Daytona State with 43 rebounds. FSCJ only 20 throughout the night. So Falcons more than doubling on the rebounding advantage.
Huge difference, and creates so many more second chances for the home crowd, right? The home team.
Another underrated stat. Here's another big story in this game. I'll tell it to you here momentarily. Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Assists. Daytona State with 17 assists. FSCJ with only 5.
Yowza. Oopsie.
I know your favorite sport is soccer. Imagine a lopsided assist count like that. You know which team is going to be ahead, the team with the assists.
Almost always, right? That's true. Drew will have soccer season coming up before you know it.
Ball thrown away. Here come the Falcons. Had their foot on the gas pedal all night long. This time it's Mackey, and she'll head to the line.
Now, she had 2 trailers, and here's just, you know, it has to do with communication, right? So you mentioned soccer before to me. On the, you know, when you have 11 persons on the pitch, you constantly have to be yelling, especially if my back was to, let's say, the defender. You got to say, man on, or turn, right? In this particular case, it was a layoff. You had 2 trailers, but you got to say it, though, because the person with the back to you does not know. So you got to yell out that type of communication. That's something that I always thought every coach should work on more so, is yelling out to your players, letting them know. And didn't matter. Those both were made easily by number 4, Mackey.
Now Rylan Moffitt checks back in. Pangborn goes to the bench for Daytona State. Moffitt, another freshman. I'm telling you, that nucleus is going to be strong next year for this Daytona State club. Johanna Bell. He's got Gilbert on her this time, so defensive switch. And you see how it's tougher to get that shot off when you got to shoot over the length of Gilbert. And now another foul going to be called on Brennan this time.
Brennan sheepishly looks over at the coach like, it wasn't me. Come on now. This is probably the most fouls and stoppage of play that we've seen all game long. Bell, the general, calling out the play.
Coming up on 6 minutes to play. For Daytona State, it would be the 9th victory of the season. Ross goes to that crossover and now just throws it up. And Falcons a little frustrated. They're playing defense, and right now the officials just calling every single bit of contact.
Oh, great crossover by Ross. That was enjoyable to watch from this angle. You know, it is the 4th quarter. The feet C's getting a little bit tired, Drew, because the way to avoid a blocking foul, right? So that way you get the offensive charge is to get those feet moving. Hands got to be straight up. Got to get, you know, cemented in position prior to that player getting to that spot. Just great body control. You know, we've called her name out quite a bit tonight. But just showing us just how special she is for these Daytona State Falcons.
Good looking floater there by Gilbert. Got her unofficially for 19 points and the steal. Trying to go over 20 if she can put this one in. Oh, yeah.
Wow. She's really on a roll tonight. Slowing it down a little bit here. Everybody needs a little bit of time to breathe. Been a furious pace up till now.
Johanna Bell out of Miami, Doral Academy. Cannon waiting for her, looking for her. Emily Lee tries to put it up. And the shot clock expires, so good defense by Daytona State, and Haley Brennan again using that reach.
Just such a long reach does she have. Knows how to extend those arms, and obviously a real shot blocker.
Also number 3, Tasia Johnson. They replace Gilbert and Brennan.
24-point lead for the Falcons. Right now just sharing it at will. Johnson off the glass.
Wow.
Count it.
Wow. I just threw that up. See where it went. Got the foul. Gonna be the old-fashioned three-pointer if she converts this one.
So Tasia Johnson, this is not only going to be a Daytona State win, Ted, they are doing it in impressive fashion here tonight.
And, you know, I think it was in the second quarter, Drew. You said it best. I mean, the way they look tonight, obviously they must have progressed as a team throughout to be looking this good and against really a very, very good team, the Blue Wave.
Florida State Jacksonville basketball.
And you said it, a lot of talent, right, in this conference, Conference 8. But I wonder if they were playing like this in the very beginning of the season.
A lot of woulda, shoulda, couldas, right? Able to step through. That's a nice lay-in. Avery Cannon's had a nice night for FSCJ. Yeah, I mentioned the 3 losses Daytona State is coming off to St. Pete College, HCC, Hillsborough Community College, and Eastern Florida. Had a couple wins before that against FSCJ and Santa Fe. But just the consistency has not fully been there. But again,
man.
Just as I say that, they're draining threes all over the court.
Pouring it on. You know, held the ball for almost 25 seconds and then buries the 3. Yowza, what kind of answer do you have if the opposing team?
I mentioned
Good defense.
the
Wow.
last meeting between these two teams. This is actually the 3rd meeting this year between these squads. Falcons have won both, so this would be the hat trick if they could get it done, and it looks like all indications are Daytona State is going to notch a big win here at home tonight. Another line change for Daytona State. There is Jada Young. She was honored at the half, number 21. Gilbert also on the floor once again.
Right.
And number 13, Alyssa Green Buford, enters for the first time. She's a freshman out of Maryland.
And also Pangborn was honored as well. So we're going to have a freshman line change here. All freshmen going in. All sophomores are going to come out. Said I just heard Coach overheard him say that. And he took him out so they could get a round of applause.
Lots of emotions tonight in the arena. Last time you play in front of the crowd here at the Lemarant Center. So many great moments over the last few years. And Ted, it certainly goes quick, doesn't it? It's 2 years in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
Shot from deep.
You know, it's hard to believe, but, you know, some of these young ladies are here 3 years because they redshirted because of COVID.
Ted, talk about the coverage span of this broadcast tonight. How many counties we on?
So we're on nine counties, if you can believe it, right? And just so you know, there's 2 counties that Daytona State serves. It's Flagler and Volusia. And in those 2 counties, right, in Daytona area alone, you've got over 240,000 people. In Flagler, the entire county, I should say, for Flagler, put another 150 on top of that. So between Daytona and Flagler County, that's 400,000 folks, let alone the rest of Volusia, which I don't know the population off the top of my head. I'll have to ask Siri. When in doubt, ask Siri or Google, you know.
So ball out of bounds. Avery Cannon will throw it in.
So, I mean, here's another one to think about, Drew. So there's 67 counties in the state of Florida, right? So, okay. So 9 out of that, right, you're looking at least somewhere around 15%, right, of the population. And if the population is 20 million, 15% of 20 million, that's over 3 million people at least.
This is Lee, Emily Lee, off the glass and up and in.
A good job there by Lee, using her height to her advantage with the mismatch.
Lexus Staten able to recover it.
All right. Block shot. Got her own rebound.
Dipped away, Joanna Bell.
And right now you're looking at an all-freshman floor for Daytona State.
This is Bell. Puts it up and in.
Good job to go over Brennan.
But she has not come out of this game.
Brennan showing herself.
One more timeout called by Florida State College of Jacksonville. They'll talk it over, and that's going to be the final timeout with just over a minute to play. Here, Coach Griffin and the Falcons going to improve to 9-17. And what a performance tonight for us on WDSC TV. They've got Santa Fe College in their final contest on the road. That is on Saturday. Well, Halifax Health is looking for its next healthcare superstar. Find out how to become one at halifaxhealth.org/education to employment. Halifax Health, a proud supporter of Falcon Athletics and the official healthcare provider for the Falcons athletic program.
Yeah, glad to have them as such a staunch supporter of Daytona State. All right, we are really kind of stretching our wings with our taste of music here, a little bit of Queen.
You know, so many incredible opportunities provided to these youngsters every single year to come here to Daytona State. We see the videos at halftime, all the great curriculum offered here on campus, plus the on-campus living now, the athletic opportunities. Daytona State College is just a world of opportunity at your fingertips.
Honestly, I could talk all day, Drew, about the facilities, about the programs, what there has to offer, the Mike Curb School of Music. But you know what? People are, you know, we have a great marketing team. They are finding out just how many wonderful opportunities there are at Daytona State. But I would say it's still a gem that needs more, you know, more voices.
Shania McCarthy, the freshman out of Apopka, tremendous night. Wekiva High School represented here, the final 20 seconds. And Daytona State putting the cherry on this Sunday. Yeah. It has been awesome, high-octane basketball from start to finish, 71-45, and it looks like the Blue Wave just going to dribble this one out. Final tip on it.
Just about do it.
And that will bring us to the end. 71-45, Daytona State College over Florida State College of Jacksonville. Tremendous night for the Falcons, everything working. They pulled away at the end of the first quarter, Ted, and they simply never looked back.
Now, if they can do this, have this same type of performance with Eastern Florida State as their last game, you are just looking at, 2023-24 season with just some real high hopes, Drew.
Falcons certainly earned this one, and we were thrilled to bring it to you. We invite you to hit us up on social media throughout this broadcast, our next broadcast coming up at 7:30 on Twitter at DSC Falcon Sports, Facebook at Daytona State College Athletics, and Instagram as well at DSC Falcon Sports. Ted Sofianos, final thoughts here as we send off the ladies.
Come on. Who are we going to talk about? Nashani Gilbert and, of course, Johanna Bell. Those two did great for their teams tonight. The statistics that we saw, Drew, and you mentioned before, I don't need to repeat them, but I tell you, it was Daytona's favor from maybe the first 5 minutes. And what an enjoyable game to watch if you're a Daytona State fan.
Gilbert finishes with 21, and our men's game coming up at the bottom of the hour. Be sure and join us 7:30 right here on WDSC TV, or come on down to the arena.
Yeah.
We're going to be here for a good portion of the night. Hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did covering it for our entire crew. You see the names, the biggest parts of WDSC TV right there, alongside Ted Sofianos.
Man.
I'm Drew Fellio saying so long from the Lemoran Center, and we will see you for men's action coming up momentarily.